President K.R. Narayanan's recent visit to Turkey has once again reaffirmed the affinity between two secular nations. A prominent force behind this secularism is former Prime Minister and now Deputy Prime Minister Bulent Ecevit. It's a small world met this statesman who, like many politicians of his generation, wears his affection for India on his sleeve.
Mr. Ecevit, you belong to the generation of Turkish leaders who knows India quite well. What does the 50th anniversary of India's independence mean to you personally?
Well, of course, my position is rather special because from my young years I have been very closely interested in Indian culture, Indian literature. So consequently, I have always had a great interest for India. Even today, when I'm heavily burdened with the task of government membership, when I want to ease my mind and my conscience, I translate bits from Bhagavad Gita. In my very young years, even when I was a college student, I translated poems from Rabindranath Tagore. But if you ask about the attitude of the Turkish people in general, first of all, the Turks in general are very much aware of the support that we received during the War of Liberation, independence from the Indian people earlier this century. We remember, everybody remembers that with gratitude.
I mean, you talked about your love for India, you studied Sanskrit, you are some kind of an amateur Indologist and so on. And the other leaders who have very positive views on India. But none of this has translated itself into any meaningful relationship.
As a member of the present government, I shall exert every effort to see to it that the situation changes. We have a lot of possibilities of cooperation, particularly with regard to creating our own technologies as much as possible. When we started the period of planned economy in early 60s, we benefited from Indian experience a great deal. There were several Indian specialists working with us during that period. And now we are determined to open more to Asia, not only to Central Asia, where new Turkish republics have been established. Although we have the objective of becoming a member in the European Union, and although we consider ourselves a European nation, we are not only European, we are also a Middle Eastern, an Eastern Mediterranean, and an Asian.
Sir, what is the score on the ground as far as Cyprus is concerned?
In the 60s, the Turks in Cyprus had been faced with serious attempts of massacre, of so-called ethnic cleansing. And in mid-July 1974, the military junta in Athens fostered a coup d'etat, which would have extended the military dictatorship of Greece to Cyprus, and which would have to the annihilation of the Turks on the island. Unless we took that military step, there would be very serious tragedies, not only for the Turks, but for the Greeks on the island as well.
You use the term ethnic cleansing. Now, ethnic cleansing echoes in our ears as something that happened in Bosnia very recently. Now, what kind of ethnic cleansing are you talking about in the 70s?
The Greeks on the island had plans put on paper to eradicate the Turks on the island one way or the other, either by forcing them to migrate from the island or by killing them.
Right.
I mean, this is not a secret. There was an Akritas plan.
You mentioned the massacres in Bosnia, in Chechnya, in Abkhazia, and the fact that the Turkish Muslims are therefore feeling a sense of humiliation. They have been witness to all of this, and they've been able to do nothing. Would you describe this as one of the reasons for the rise of the Islamist Refah party?
The Rafah party's case is not due to the developments taken that you have explained. It has another, it's a different factor. Turkey has pioneered in illustrating that Islam can be compatible with secularism, with democracy, and with modernity. Certain Middle Eastern Islamic countries feel that the Turkish experience could provide an inciting example to their own peoples. So they try to destabilize the Turkish regime, and the Refah Partisi also has been working in that direction.
Thank you very much, sir.
I thank you, and please convey my best wishes to the friendly Indian people.